Hello, this is your humble DM here, reminding you that yes, we are new to this and that there's absolutely no way we forgot to turn the sound on for the start of the recording. However, if you skip to the 4-minute 20 mark, then you'll happily find the rest of the audio. Thank you very much.
So he is very inclined to nature. He feels a lot on nature.
Nice.
With his magic.
I'm being informed that there's no audio.
At all.
Okay, we're back. We're back with audio. I think that was a settings issue. I fully apologise.
How far back are we going?
I'm not sure. I think we may as well hop back just a little bit anyway and just do your character introduction again. I'm very sorry. I am not good at this.
So we are into this small ritual small little circle, coated in many different trinkets from all over the known world. He seems to be very well travelled. He seems to be very old. And he is healing currently at this moment in time an injured individual who was attacked by wolves, as he was saying.
Yeah. We cut back again to the guy begging and pleading as you're operating, saying, "I'm sorry, it just came out of nowhere. I don't have any money to pay you. I'm terribly sorry."
It's okay, child. This is payment enough. Knowing the fact that you're going to walk again. That any lesser surgeon would lose a leg. I do apologise about that. And he'll place his hands on the leg and cast through.
Wonderful.
The guy completely.
Nice. So we see in full picture this sort of stage that's going on of it's this turtle cleric that's healing and seemingly helping good, doing lots of charity work. You cut to other patients of yours that are all gathered round, all of them with broken bones and bandages and like basically bruises and cuts, all being healed really nicely, free of charge, with some other clerics nearby, but not a lot. It's quite a small operation. Very few of them actually do it for free, but I think we realise how rare it is that we get such a kind-hearted gentleman. And what was your name again for the people on stream?
So his name is Zuak.
Zuax. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, as Zuax is working on this, he finally heals up this person. He manages to fully save the leg, make sure that the guy's going to be okay, sends him on his way without taking any payment, to the extreme gratitude of this poor individual. And then, walking up to you, you get someone dressed in full royal gear. It is a purple outfit with like gold buttons, gold outlay on the collar. They've got like stripes almost denoting military but low military status, and they hand over a letter with a sealed purple seal on it. I'm looking for a Zoax.
I'm Zuak myself actually, but I don't understand, what is this for? Is there more people being healed? Am I needed somewhere?
I'm not injured, no. I'm just a messenger, pal. Basically, this is just, I'm here to deliver a message from the prince.
Okay. I'm quite a slow reader, but I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point. He's just going to take the letter and bill it up.
So you don't read it, you put it in your pocket and you move on to the next patient?
He's going to move on to the next patient. You'll get round to reading it at some point. Like that's the kind of mentality he's got. He's like, take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes. So he will eventually, he'll be healing while also looking at the later sort of stuff. He'll continue doing his work.
As you continue doing all of your work, you get eventually, probably later in the day, 3-4 in the afternoon, you get time to finally open up this letter, and essentially it just reads, "Dear Zoax, I kindly request your attendance. There is a job going down today. There is an adventuring party meeting at the Low Valley pub in the middle of the Grey Light district. I have a feeling that they will require a doctor. No questions asked."
Dax is gonna hold up the letter and put it in his wee staring bit of his shell, and he's gonna be like, "This sounds interesting. I've read books like this." And he's just gonna make his way over.
Yeah, but I think as you're shuffling a little excitedly, you get stopped by one of the other doctors as you're moving your way through. One of the other doctors says, "Oh, you going out for supplies? We are running low on some things. I can give you a list if you're..."
I'll take the list, of course.
Yeah, and then he gives you a list, and it's just essentially like a shopping list of some things that they need for spell components, small little medical supplies. They're basically running low on almost everything expensive. They're just running out of anything that would be required for higher end healing, everything for healing potions, and for anything that's requiring for like lesser restorations or curing curses is just almost at rock bottom. I think looking around, you're reminded that you're not working in a hospital. This is not a temple to a specific god, and you're kind of just in the middle of this city with not a lot of help and a lot to give.
Zorax is gonna like kind of look at his coin purse and he's just gonna nod over. I'll get this sorted. I'll get this.
You're a gem, pal. You're a gem. Thank you. And he moves on to his next patients. Excellent. Who would like to go next?
Step up to the plate. Oh, no, okay.
Oh, wow. Fighting for it. Do you want to roll for it?
No, I'm good. I'll wait.
Okay, this.
So as we go through the city, I think we probably get to a very different scene. This is somewhere outside the Greylight Gate. This is probably actually closer to the woods. So as we zoom out and get that full view of the city before panning in, you see a huge walled off city surrounded and nestled in this little valley. And it's surrounded on all sides bar one by thick pine forest, all going uphill, channeling everything, even water, down to the base of this valley. To the west of the city, you can see that there's a long river flowing through, and at the bottom of the river, about a mile and a half away from the city, you can see Derry Lake, which is just a massive lake, quite close to the city, connected by this like half a mile wide river. So as we sort of zoom in and pan through the city, we go outside the city walls, past the Greylight Gate, into an area of the city that's closer to like a shanty town. Not in that it's poor, in that it's outside the city walls and it's almost constantly being knocked down by different monster attacks or by weather formations or by just all sorts of trash going on out there. Only the people out there are selling stuff, scamming people, or not wanting to be caught. And I think we cut to, what do you think we're up to at the moment as we zoom in on your character, Kieran?
So I imagine Lubnub is just sitting in whatever room he can afford.
Mm-hmm.
And he's absent-mindedly, bored as all hell, trying to pick last night's dinner out his teeth.
Mm.
Is he just sitting around waiting for what's going to eventually come?
You're just a big, burly, orcish lad in an almost empty room built in basically, like, the walls are like scrap found bits of wood, and like half your walls are made of like doors and shit parts, and this is clearly a house that someone has flung together and or doesn't care about, and you're just squatting in. And then we cut to about 5 minutes past. Alright.
Lubna will get up, being his full 6 foot self, and I imagine this house is nowhere near built for a 6 foot great.
No, you're like stooping a little bit as you're exiting.
But he will recognise the voice, I imagine, and he'll step outside and look up and down.
Yeah, dope. So you open the door and you can see in front of you as a Goliath who you are familiar with, an individual called Raph. This is an incredibly intimidating looking Goliath. He is easily 7 foot tall. He is covered in tribal giantish tattoos. He's definitely from the descendants of giants, not just in the way that traditional Goliaths are, but like probably from a tribe that had giants in it as well. And he, as soon as you open the door, he just puts a massive hand on your shoulder and then goes, "Right, lad, job tonight, you game?"
In the heart.
Follow me and you'll find out. And he walks off. He just starts walking off into the city.
Don't even bother to close the door, I'm just walking off.
Dope. You got all your stuff on you, everything's all fine. You reach to your weapon, nice and trusty maul on the side. Would you like to describe your character as you walk through the city?
So, yeah, Lubnub, easily 6 foot, 6'1" if you were to ask him. The one's very important. Kind of looks like he'd be a lot more well built in the past.
Hmm.
And
Kind of letting himself go a little bit.
yeah, looks like a bodybuilder, but it's not had time to go build the body.
Definitely.
Is if you were able to understand Giantish, you would recognise that there is different giant runes tattooed over his body, and each are connected by different threads that have been tattooed.
Excellent.
He is awkwardly dressed in some kind of nice commoner clothes that, whether it's been through time or self-alterations, are ripped all over the place in what appears to be either an attempt at comfort or just disdain.
Nice, yeah. So you're looking really shabby, but also definitely healthy. Maybe not bodybuilder healthy, but an intimidating presence. A little bit dwarfed by this Goliath friend of yours that's leading you through the city. And as you go, you can see that you're passing by like stalls and marketplaces. The Greylight district is quite trade heavy, but it's also quite monster hunter heavy. So the Greylight district is built and paid for by the Greylight Hunt, which is a adventuring an adventuring guild specializing mostly in monster hunting and militia. But given that this is a monster hunting area of the city, most of the things that are being sold here are essentially just meats and alchemical ingredients and stuff that's been foraged from the city, from just outside the city walls. So as you're going through stuff, you can see that Raph just like walks up to stalls, just starts grabbing stuff whenever he wants something. Like he'll walk by something and he'll just take something that's being cooked and then just munch on it and keep walking. Does Lubnub join in? Do you grab yourself some dinner as you're wandering through the city? Nice, yeah. What do you think? What food do you think Lubnub will be grabbing? Lots of fresh veg and meat, or you going
Aggressively protein.
aggressively protein? So you're just like grabbing steaks off the fire as they're being grilled and munching on them half raw. Just proper going through the city like the two of you own this place. This is a march of people comfortable in their environment, being given...
Very good chance he just takes food straight out of someone's hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And then any protest is immediately just stared down. So you walk by and there's this like half-elf guy eating a burger that you just snatch out his hand, and he looks up and is like, hey, what the... Oh, fuck. And then just like stops talking and looks back to where his dinner is. And the owner comes over and apologizes to the person and starts making a new burger. You get the sense that Raph has got some pull in the city, or at least in this area of the city. So, as you keep walking, you go all the way over. You are introduced to various people on your way there. You pass by guards that nod, and you pass by beggars that nod at you. And eventually you get to an area of the city called the Grey Sprawl, which is essentially just a large area of the city that is from the northeast side of the wall to the southwest side of the wall, a long strip in the middle. I think I sent the players a map, and I'll work out eventually how to get that on stream, but I'm not that competent yet. You keep walking until you get to an area called the Grey Sprawl, and in it you see a pub called the Low Valley Pub. And this is a pub that you're very familiar with. This is a place where you are fairly often brought to get jobs, and Raph has taken you back here. And as you show up, I think you see a turtle making his way to the city, and as Zorak makes his way to this pub, you see a gigantic Goliath and a orcish barbarian walking as well. And the Goliath turns to you and says, "Are you the doctor?"
Yes, I have. I see my travel adventures have not skipped across on the meals. Good.
Yes, no, we don't skip meals here. It would take a fucking miracle to skip meals here. But
Says that as I take a chunk out of the cheeseburger.
yeah, it's just like as you're saying that, someone's munching on a cheeseburger behind them. We were told to expect a turtle, so I take it you're the guy. You were sent by. Who were you sent by?
It was just a random guard and military guard. He handed me a letter. I'm gonna like kind of take the letter out, Mr. Burnham, kind of like wave it slightly, but I'm not going to let him read it. Back in.
All right. Well, you look doctory, so we'll let you in. Fuck it, why not? And they all just walk in. And as you walk in, you can see it's a low building. It looks as if there used to be rooms for inns, but the walls have all been knocked out, and it's just one big pub that would seat about 100 people. It's not too busy at the moment. You're sort of talking midday, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Not the busiest it could be. Do you guys want a drink?
Well, I don't know, is the table service in here, or do we take a seat? Oh, I don't really think.
He puts a gigantic hand on your shell and starts guiding you to the bar, and just reaches over the bar and grabs a bottle and goes, "I'm the fucking table service. Don't worry about it, pal." Aye, don't worry. Take what you want, and if anyone gives you any trouble, tell them Raph sent you.
Right, I will do that. Thank you. Sorry, he's gonna take a little swig or whatever he just handed him.
It's like aged whiskey. Immediately, you're getting like it's like an 18-year-old Scotch.
He kind of like he keeps it in his mouth, and you can tell he's not swallowed it, but he refuses to spit it out of disrespect. He puts the bottle down and just doesn't say anything with the mouthful of whiskey.
Excellent.
And he thought he'd want to spit it out.
Meanwhile, I take it when Raph hands you your bottle of whiskey, you are happy to take a sip, Lubnub?
Oh yeah.
Nice. And then we cut again to our third table member. As we're going through the city, where do you think you would be at this time of day?
Probably in a pub.
Probably in a pub. So you are in the tavern that you are brought to. You're a traveller, so this is not the city that you're usually in, but this is the city that you're in at the moment. So I think you're probably in a fairly nice pub, a fairly nice inn, and we cut from the city into, let's go with the Stoneheart Road. That's a nice city. So as we go back out to the full city view, we see past the Grey Sprawl into the eastern gate of the city. You can see that the Stoneheart Road is quite a wealthy part of town. You can see that all the buildings here are much better maintained than all the other ones. All the roofs and all of the walls and brickwork in the Grey Sprawl are clearly not that well maintained, whereas everywhere in this part of town is like shiny, fresh built stuff. All the roofs are tiled properly and correctly with terracotta. It's like a very pretty, nice part of town. And we cut straight into an inn and a pub where we see... What do we see?
Well, it's in a nicer area, so there's a few other patrons in there all dressed all right, but really kind of, and by no means like a level of quality in terms of it's more expensive, but just the sheer, if you walked in, it would be the first thing that you saw in terms of sat there in armour that is parallax and almost mirror light, so just any natural light that's coming in is just shining off it. A half-elf sat at a table with a drink, kind of sipping away and just sort of counting some coins from the day's kind of trade, the day's work, counting them away, kind of looking around and then looking at a letter that I've previously been given. I believe I've previously been given this letter. Kind of mulling over.
We cut back to the time where you got this letter. As you're looking at it, I think you reminisce just a little bit as you're thinking, in this very same pub, not less than 2 days ago, you remember a full brigade of royal people walking in, essentially town criers walking in, as they all spot you and almost simultaneously, one of them steps forward, simultaneously they all trumpet out a little anthem of that da-da-da-da, and the guy at front comes out and bows incredibly low and says, "From His Royal Majesty, we please request," and then he grants you the letter.
I'm kind of scanning over my letter, counting up my coins, and I look, and there's a slight look of kind of disappointment that I've maybe not made made quite as much as I wanted to. It's not
Aye.
it's not a bad income, but I'm like that short. And I kind of dust all the coins off the table into my bag, down the drink back, and stand up and kind of gather my things and go, better. Suppose I'm going for this then. Kind of put the letter back in my bag as well and head out the door.
Yeah, as you're counting your
I'm going.
meager portions for the day, you're like, well, I know one way to make money, and it's not by sitting here, sort of thing. So you make your way onto the city, and you are essentially just wandering through town, but almost everywhere you go, people are staring. This is something you're incredibly used to, but still, as we pan by, watching as the camera focuses you walking through the city, really not doing anything that impressive. You see people nudging each other and pointing and whispering as they're all looking at you. And again, with the fact that you got that royal seal not that long ago, there are some people as you walk by whispering, oh, and the prince is talking to them. And there are people going, that's that person I was telling you about not that long ago. And I think there's... How did that make you feel as you're wandering through the town, knowing that your legend is already spreading, maybe a bit faster than you could control?
Yeah, it's a very contrasting between, like, there's an air of, like, not quite arrogance, but like accomplishment of like, oh, this is there's the novelty is still there a little bit, but not quite to the point of comfort. So there's still like a trying to like put the head down to like toss the hair in front of the face a little bit. If it's there's a kid that kind of is looking up or something, that there's like a little awkward wave of like, oh, I suppose I'd better, but it's doesn't know how to deal with this really awkward.
And even as you nod to the kids, they all go off excitedly shouting or excitedly giggling to each other. What was their name? Nilthria? And then there's just like people like almost guessing at your name with... As you're walking by, you enter into the pub, the Low Valley pub. You again see that low building, and I think almost immediately, regardless of how much anybody was paying attention to anything, as soon as this like person walks in, we see almost everyone in the bar turns with this like, you know that thing where you see something incredibly bright out the corner of your eye and you just kind of automatically turn to look at it? It's that blinding brightness as the sun catches their armour as they go into this pub that makes Raph turn around and go, oh, and here's one of our other contenders. How are we today, sir?
I just stop for a minute and I look myself up and down and go, sorry?
Turn a phrase.
I just have a moment of like, wait, I thought this was at least this bit is obvious, but no. And I go, miss or ma'am, or it doesn't matter. I'm all right. And yourself?
Excellent. I hear good things about you. I'm excited to see the prowess in battle and the legendary spellcasting abilities. And he nudges you, Lubnub, and goes, this one here's new to the city, on high recommendation for our next job.
So I'm not breaking this one.
I think...
I was a little disappointed.
From what I can hear, I don't think you'd have a good shot at it, pal.
Bloodnub says nothing, but the eyes say everything.
And what are the eyes saying? I absolutely disagree.
They are saying we'll find out later.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm gonna catch this look, and my eyes are gonna drift quite quickly down to the doctor, and like, okay, yeah, glad there's doctor.
Zurax is going to kind of nod and he's going to open his mouth. As he does, a rush of whiskey down the front of him that he quickly brushes off and goes, what? My name's Zurax. It's spelt with a K, but it's silent though. And he's just going to offer his hand out to shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand, and I will just say to him, I will say, Nyla, and I'll say, it's longer, but no one pronounces it right. So, Nyla.
Keep that silent. Your hand is moistened by whiskey, by the way, because he did self-bite.
Can I roll an insight or something to see if I can work out that he very much so was not enjoying that whiskey?
Sure, roll me an insight check, and then Zoak, roll me a... Hey, we've got our final contender here.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
That's 16.
And I'm rolling what? Or deception?
Unless you're not trying to hide your disdain for this whiskey.
I don't think Zurax would be hiding his disdain. Like, he quite clearly did not like it, but he started the whole time with it in his mouth. God knows how long that would have been. But yeah,
As a life kit, I'm gonna try and do the kindness that sort of. I'm just gonna go. Do you mind if are you finished with this?
oh yeah, you're more than welcome.
And I was gonna take that away from him and take very small sips, like manageable sips, but
If you want anything else,
you don't want to get that in your mouth anymore.
well, if you want anything else, you just tell people about Rash. He's very good.
So, the K is silent. Why is the K there to start with?
The name my mother and my father gave me.
Sounds stupid, but alright.
Okay.
I think Raph looks at you and goes, wait, so how did you get your name?
All the letters are said in my name. There's no need for silent letters.
Interesting. And he stared...
Was
Lub nub.
Raffle. Are you?
I like it.
That sounds almost like an insult. Are you?
I think it's exotic.
Okay. So long as you're sure that's what you want me to call you.
That is my name, and I prefer you call me it, yes.
Could I call you Nub? Or look,
I would rather you didn't call me Lub, no.
I think Raph tunes in at this point and says, so you would rather not Lub, but Nub would be fine.
He gives him a look of like, you're a motherfucker.
I like Nub. Nub was my favourite out of the two.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nub.
I think Nub going further. I think Nub going further is the clear way forward. And then I think we pan away from that to our fourth and final player of the evening. A little bit late though he may be. Where do we catch up with Stan as this is happening? This is sort of 3-4 in the afternoon. You're just finishing up with your day job. So where do we find you?
So, I am walking out of the restaurant that I work part-time in. I'm a chef. I'm just putting away my cooking utensils and I'm pulling out a map to find out where I'm going. Got my bag on, pulling out a map. I'm like, I have no idea where I am.
You just step out your own workplace and you look at a map and go, I'm lost.
Yes.
Excellent. So as you're looking through the maps, you come to the realization that not only can you not read maps, but this is the wrong restaurant. You've been working a 9-hour shift in this restaurant and you have no clue what's going on. I think we cut to you like 4 hours earlier as the head chef comes by and goes, listen mate, you didn't get the job. You can keep working as long as you want, but this is not what's going to happen going forward. I cannot stress this enough. You have not got a job here. I am not going to stop you from working. Is that understood?
Also, I'll make 5 more deviled eggs.
We don't serve deviled eggs. I cannot stress this enough. This is... We are going...
Well, that's...
Peel some potatoes, and he passes you a huge bag of potatoes to peel.
Oh, yeah. No, I can work with that.
So you peel all those potatoes. And I think you're wandering through the city when, through nothing more than sheer blind luck, you're like passing by something and like a cart selling like loads of different random fruits and vegetables passes by and just splashes you in the wrong way, like a puddle on the ground as it goes by. And as you're drying yourself off, you like stumble backwards and fall ass first into this pub. and you guys sitting at the bar all turn around, and who do they see falling ass backwards, if you'd like to describe your character, into this pub?
So they see a nice, like, 6'8" tall, giant broad shoulders, long black wavy hair, tiny little golden hat, yellow leather armor, and tiny, like smaller waist, down, smaller legs, massive torso, Goliath.
Yeah, so like this absolute Dorito of a Goliath falls ass backwards into this, and I think even Raph turns to look at you and just goes, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Hey guys, you wouldn't happen to be looking for a chef here, would you?
Oh, I too like couscous.
See, someone gets it.
Do you make couscous, pal?
Oh, trust me, I can make anything.
Excellent, excellent. I don't know, and he like looks round at like for basically any staff member of the pub, and someone comes over and is like quietly in your ear just says, "We're not hiring. Please leave. This is not. There is no job here. You're in the wrong area, pal."
This is the third time he's been into.
I feel like this place could use some cheese puffs. You mind if I make some cheese puffs?
You can come in and have a drink. You can come in and have a drink if you would like to buy a drink at the bar, but I can't stress this enough, we're not hiring.
I think that's a really unfortunate thing. Like cheese puffs on a menu in here would do fantastic.
Make me a persuasion check. Make me a persuasion check as you demand cheese puffs.
Nice. Persuasion. Well, I could take it. I'm gonna give up the camera because the MDB gave me a natural flare down.
The server that comes over to you and says there's no job for you here looks back, and after hearing you say you'd quite like cheese puffs, Raph turns to the server and goes, "Did you hear the man?" And the server goes, we could. Do you have all the ingredients on you to make cheese puffs?
No.
Well, we could we? And he looks back at Raph and he goes, "What do we do when we're out of stock?" And the server, like, shoulder slumped, goes, "I'll hop to the market." And he leaves. And you're shown to the restaurant. It said, there is no restaurant, there is no kitchen, this is a pub. So you're shown to basically behind the bar area, where there is a sink with no running water, it's just a bucket and lots of dirty dishes in there.
That's alright. I can make do.
Excellent. So the new server, this giant Goliath, is now the only one behind the bar making drinks. As Raph turns to you all and says, "So listen, you're all here for a job. Edward's going to be in any minute. We're going to take you back to chat with him. One of you had a phrase. I can't remember my sentence, but one of you was supposed to have a phrase. Some royal fucking phrase."
If realistically it takes a solid like that third for a wee while looking around like
Yeah.
it's got the phrase. While I find the phrase.
I think Raph just is like, "Oh well, cool. Well, moving on from that fucking shenanigans anyway. Let's just cut straight to the chase here."
Looks up like mid when he's that sentence and goes, "We are the drones."
That was it. That was it. That was it. That was that. Yeah. Edward's gonna want that, maybe. I don't know. The prince asked us to remember it for you. Yeah. So
Don't see what anyone else will understand it, or is it just like a
Which in response to another thing.
oh,
Raph like leans in and goes, "What was I supposed to ask you?"
I get back out the lift. Go. I whisper to him, but it's not a very good whisper.
Yeah.
And I just go, "Who is the queen?"
Excellent. Right. I will remember that next time. I will remember that. I am sorry for this.
It didn't happen.
Thank you. I am glad that you're allowing this. Thank you. And you won't tell the prince that we forgot the key phrase he asked us to remember.
Like, we were on it.
Excellent. Perfect. So a couple hours go by as this is happening. About half an hour goes by and lots of ingredients for cheese puffs comes in. You get like corn, wheat flour, and cheese seasoning, I guess. Whatever the fantasy equivalent of cheese chemical is. Probably, I don't know, ray of frosted cheese we'll go with. And yeah, do you want to roll me a cook's utensils just to see how well you do with cheese puffs? I think it's just your proficiency. It's just dice plus proficiency.
Okay, I've got that. Probably.
Since
I've been poisoned by cheese puffs.
At 24.
So that's 2 rolls so far, cheese puff oriented, that have gotten nat 20s. So, in full fairness to Zoark's, like, massive ego of going, do you know what, I actually really do want cheese puffs right now. Not even, like, half an hour, 40 minutes later, you get given a plate of, like, some of the best cheese puffs that you've ever had in your life.
Be licking all my tiny little claws clean as I pick them all up one by one individually.
You get like a kilo of like cheese puff balls.
I'm walking around offering them to anyone that would take a cheap puff ball. Basically, I'm like, yo, look at this, man. Look at this.
These are technically excellent. Yeah.
Well, this is gourmet stuff.
So after a little while, we cut to the as things are progressing nicely through the evening. What do you think you're all talking about? Since this is all brand new people here for a strange job, here for many different reasons. Some of you not invited at all.
I would like to ask Brad, which
excellent. Yeah, he's drinking at the bar. He's definitely still here. He's waiting on Edward the same as you guys.
I'm gonna just approach him and say, "All right, you seem to have an awful lot of sway, rightfully so. I'm just wondering. I really like the doctor. I've decided on sight. I really like him. He seems lovely. I like how happy he was with those cheese puffs. Do you think, with a bit of sway, I mean, if there's any chance that this quest mission, whatever it is they're wanting us to really do, this could take any amount of time. I'm feeling like maybe with a bit of sway we might need a private chef. That's what I'm thinking."
You think that
I'm going to point to the guy behind the bar and go, "I'm going out a guess here. I don't think his rate's going to be that high."
He looks over to the chef, the new chef that's going by making cheese puffs for everyone, and goes, "You really think the doctor might not sign on if we don't give him the good cheese puffs?"
I just think the doctor, right? You got to keep your cleric happy.
I mean,
it's life. It's literally life and death.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage, because that logic is flawless.
Funny, that's silly. Is it 25?
25. Excellent. So as you're talking this through, you can, looking at Raph, you're seeing a lot of muscle and not a lot of intelligence or wisdom about this guy. He's looking this chef up and down, and then he looks at this doctor and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, happy cleric, Yeah, he probably would perform better. That makes sense to me, actually. That I can see why you were recommended for this. You've got a good mind for this. Why don't you go recruit him for me?
I will. Do you know what his pay would be? Do you know what we can offer?
And he looks around and goes, "We don't really pay hourly. Maybe speak to Edward. Maybe see if you can cut. Maybe you can cut him in on the job that you are doing. Maybe you can just get him in at a rate for the job."
Yeah, right, okay. Could you actually... I'll deal with it. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with it.
Yeah. And tell Edward that it was... tell Edward that we spoke about it. Tell Edward that I thought of it. Tell Edward that this is...
I will.
Tell Edward... Yeah.
Well, let's keep the...
Yeah, to keep the cleric happy, so that you all don't... So that the job goes well. Yeah, we keep the cleric happy. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah, tell Edward that that's what's happening. Tell him that's what's happening. Yep. Yeah. Good.
I head over to the cook. I give Raph a little wave, and I head over to speak to the cook.
What do we see as this shining armored man comes up to this giant Goliath? Oh yeah, you're still a woman. Sorry.
I'm just making cheese puffs.
just getting busy making cheese puffs behind the bar.
That's it.
Hiya, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm genuinely very sorry to interrupt this process.
You want a bowl?
I'd love one, but I was actually wondering if I heard you saying when you came in that you were looking for a job, and I don't know if this is maybe only like a one-night gig they've hired you for here. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in different employment.
What kind of employment?
Well, see the little turtle guy?
Yeah.
I mean, you could just cook for him, cook for an point.
Yeah. We cut to this turtle like almost hunched over a bar stool, just like fucking cheese ball after cheese ball.
So me, him, and the big guy over there, not the big guy, just the big guy. We're all doing a job, and I was thinking maybe fit of like a private chef situation.
But
I think we'll be travelling, so you get to see the road a bit as well.
how long would this gig last?
I actually have absolutely no idea.
Doesn't seem very sustainable, whereas this job's sustainable. And I'm just gonna point around at the people who have hired.
As you say, this job is sustainable. A head chef comes out of nowhere, even though this kitchen has no kitchen, and just goes, "I can't stress this enough, friend. This is not a job. You are here making cheese puffs for just this one guy. We're not going to pay you. We don't have any kind of employment for you here. This is not a recruitment phase. We're happy to have you keep making them, but please don't take this as employment."
Playing hard to get with a job. I go,
And I was actually thinking, I mean, you seem like a resourceful chap. What's your ambitions straight? And I was thinking, so I'll also be honest, I don't know how long this job is, don't actually know what it pays either, I don't know what we can get you cut in on, but it's better than nothing, which you seem to be getting here. But I can't actually promise you anything other than, I was thinking maybe I'll just give you something. Like a bit of a trade for your employment. I give you something, you're very happy you've got something instead of nothing, and then we take it from there. We see if we can get you a wage to cook for the tiny turtle man. And the rest of us, I suppose.
suppose it would help my culinary arts to explore the world in money, open a small restaurant on top of a hill.
It might. There's a chance.
That sounds quite good, actually. Maybe I will.
And I'm gonna say, I'll shake your hand on this being a deal that I don't know what you'll get paid and I don't know how long the employment will be, but I'm gonna give you something as a signing up bonus if you're in.
You know what? You got a deal. I'm going to turn to the head chef and go, Chef, I'm sorry, I can't accept this position, but I will, however, give you the recipe to the cheese balls.
He goes to talk, and then that's a fair deal, friend. That is. Just give us the recipe, and then you can go.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
And as you shake the armored female's hand, just as you make contact, the door opens, and a brother and sister, two elves walk in. You've got that long, classic elven hair. They're both like lithe figures, almost identical height, almost identical facial features. Both really like in the way that most elves are beautiful, but especially the guy has got like really chiseled features, really sort of like roguishness about him, that like scar above the eye, and then you've got like little like shaving the hair, just like very, very well done and very put together, whereas the female's a lot more just traditional classic elven. And then as they walk in, Raph stands up immediately, almost as if to attention, and looks meaningfully at the now four of you, and follows this pair into a back room. What would you like to do?
Now clears himself away from whatever strength-based contest he found to occupy himself for 25 minutes. If the other person he's like arm wrestling with doesn't let go, he's probably partially dragging them.
Yeah, like just for a split second, you cut to like Lubnub just fully like trying to push down the hand of this person, almost winning, and then randomly mid-fight, just like standing up and dragging this person for like a good foot and a half out the chair. I'm hearing from the moderators that people can't hear Jenna.
Oh no.
I don't know how this information is being portrayed.
No.
I tell you what, let's go into Discord, and I think I can up just your voice.
Oh god. My worst fear.
How's
Hello?
that? How's that,
Want me to keep
moderators?
talking? Hello.
Can
anyone hear me?
I'm hearing excellent. So we will proceed with that.
I'm kind of just shouting on this stream, just everything I say is
But yes,
100% volume screaming.
yeah. I just turned everyone's volume up to down to 10%, and Jenna's up to 200.
Just make sure her subtitles are all in cap.
Yes, yeah, for the whole of everything.
ideal.
As it should be.
I'm hearing Kieran's
You're
a bit
so
low
right.
as well.
I'm going to say to the chef, I think we're going to get a briefing on our job. If you're in, on you come.
Yeah, this chef, this random 7-foot tall Goliath, 6'8" Goliath, just says yippee and follows you into the back room. Probably honestly tripping up on a table on your way there.
Yeah.
Ideal.
As you enter into this back room, you can see sitting in an arrangement where you've got the male elf in the middle, you've got the female to his direct right, and then you've got the Goliath to his direct left. You see, it's this sort of almost in that way of like mob boss table where he's sitting at a desk, and then the two of them are standing either side of him. And then there's actually only there's three chairs in front of him, as they were expecting 3 people. The elf stands up, holds out his hand to shake one by one, sort of gets to the Goliath with a strange look, but does shake his hand. I am Edward Bowl. I presume you're all here. Well, I know Lubnub, we've met before, but I presume you're here at the request of the prince. And he looks at the Goliath. And then you can see Wrath uncomfortably standing in the corner, like, sort of looking at you, being like, well, we thought, we all, as a group, collectively thought. And he looks over at the doctor as well, and just is like, the the turtle here deserved his own personal chef. And Edward, like, slowly pivots to look directly back at Raph, and he deserves his own chef for this job. And Raph just... And Edward...
Allow me to butt in, Edward, but you're looking awful skinny. Would you listen to you off? So they're actually fantastic.
He, very skeptically, staring the entire time at this Goliath, just slowly takes a cheese puff, and the minute it touches his lips, you see someone who's trained to not show emotion, just for a split second crack as his face just goes, well, okay. So, I think, in my professional opinion, that this might be a worthwhile endeavour. I think that, Raph, you've come up with a good idea here, hopefully with the help of some other people, and although this Goliath wasn't invited originally, I do think it is worthwhile bringing in a chef for the nutritional value he may or may not provide. I think it's worthwhile. So, now that we're all here, for the people that don't know me, I'm Edward Bow. I am the founder, the CEO, the one and only of the Hands of the Valley. To my right here, and he turns to his right, he says, "This is my sister, Arianwen, and she is by no means the brains. She is definitely the money behind our operation." And she steps forward and nods and goes back to whatever she was doing, just standing, watching you. And then, as you all now know, there's Raph, who is our charmingly good-looking muscle. And Raph gives a very crooked smile. Together we make up the core members of the Hands of the Valley. We are an organisation well known in the city, well known for our many casinos and wonderful entertainment businesses. We're known for many other things that won't be spoken of in front of any authority figures. If you need something, we're the people to call. If you need to know something, we're the people to call. Now, we've had some intel. We've had intel from not only the Prince Regent, but his older brother, and he nods to you two, who I believe has sent for both of you to come help with this job. There is troubling rumours afoot. Troubling rumours that threaten our business. Now, I don't need to tell anyone here that business is good when the city is at peace. Business is best when people aren't being killed in the streets and murdered in their sleep for no good reason. And it is to this end that we have brought the four of you here. We are progressing with the idea that our wonderful, charming king may be killed in the coming months. And I think this is news to everyone here. We are working with a theory that there is an assassination attempt in the making. Now, as a spy organisation, we pride ourselves on knowing the unknowable. I don't know who's causing these rumours to circulate. I think that they are true. And I think that it is a very real possibility that we should be on our guard for things coming in the future. I'm not sure when this attack may happen, but we can work with the knowledge that it must be securely and quickly handled. I don't think anyone here would benefit from the city being plunged into such chaos, of having a 15-year-old Prince Regent suddenly take over from his murdered father, and or, God forbid, and he looks up to the sky, that there may be 2 assassinations and some new unknown power could take over from the inside out. Now, the princes have assured me that there are powerful forces at work here, and honestly, I'd quite like to know your thoughts so far before we continue on to any concrete details.
Well, it's quite a lot to take in, to be honest. I
Yes.
think I'd be told up in an assassination attempt for a king. I've met many, but I haven't tried to kill one yet. Is that what we're doing here? I'm not much business.
No, we are hoping to save the king. This is
So we're not trying to kill three.
no. We're working under the theory that there is an assassination going to happen, and we are making strides to stop that. There is no part of my organization that will make any money should the king be killed and the city fall. We strive on peace times, and we look to continue that going forward. And as he talks, you just hear and Edward looks immediately annoyed and turns to Raph, and Raph nods at him and goes and looks at the door, and you hear a small whispered conversation as Raph goes. You basically hear Raph on this end going, "Fuck off." And the guy at the door, you're not quite sure what you hear. There's some mumbling going on, and then Raph goes, "What?"
Right.
Edward, and he steps back from the door, and Edward, looking a little puzzled now, goes and opens the door. And as he opens the door, you can hear the bells in the city are starting to ring, and someone leans into Edward's ear, and Edward just shouts, "What? What? Fucking when? What?" And he turns to the 4 of you and goes, "The king is dead. We are going to have to evacuate the city as soon as possible. I need everyone to roll initiative."
Smooch. Wait, Dad, no, doesn't you plan?
You can hear people. There is no plan at the moment. You can hear people shouting in the streets as things are going on.
As we're stood here, I just I turn to like just in general direction of anyone, Raph, anyone. I'm just like, surely evacuation is an awful idea. That's how you get rid of the person who killed the king.
Raph looks at you and just goes, "We do what Edward says. Edward knows best."
Just narrow my eyes at Edward. Like, I don't like you. I don't know if I don't trust you or I don't trust your logic. There's something here.
Wonderful. So, let's go with initiative. Give me 2 wee seconds. So this isn't going to be a strictly combat thing, but I just want to know who's reacting first as things go down. So, who rolled anything above 20?
Yeah.
What did you get?
22.
22. Lovely. So, 15 to 20?
16.
16. Excellent. And then 10 to 15?
13.
I got 10 because I must roll a couple boy.
10. A slow little turtle boy. Excellent. So we've got Stan. Cool. So, yeah. Give me 2 wee seconds. Sorry, I'm still a little rusty on this. Nilthyra. So, as you are starting to react to this news that's been given to you, you can hear people running in the street. As Raph says to you, "We should listen to Edward." Edward turns round and says, "No, we're not evacuating the civilians. We're evacuating the pub into the lower city, and then we're going to make our way to the castle."
And I nod a bit. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I thought you meant we were putting everyone out of city or something. That made no sense.
So what would you like to do prior to anyone getting anything? If you'd like to do anything at all, or if not, you can happily just let Edward lead you to the evacuation point.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to follow.
Is everyone else going to follow Edward?
Yeah, I'll follow along back.
Excellent.
Lubnub definitely pulls out his maul and shouts into the pub, "Listen up, fuck nuts. Do as Edward says, or I break your nuts."
Edward just steps out in front of everyone and just goes, "Everyone that's with me, and then like basically runs into a separate side door that all of you, not the one that you came from, obviously not the entrance into the city, but a different one that leads downstairs into almost what would essentially be like a sort of a bootlegger's run type thing. So you've got like basically dirt passageways with like wooden strips going all over the place and like basically like keeping it all together. Almost looks a little bit like a mine shaft. It's wide enough that you can walk 2 by 2, but not any more than that. And Lubnob is basically taking up a space on his own, as is Raph. Probably not Stan though, because of how spindly you are. But as you're running through this corridor... Oh, we've got a lovely picture of a dog. Wonderful.
Oh.
suddenly Greyhound.
I'll stop here, man.
Excellent. Yeah, as you're running through the corridors, you can hear chaos going on behind you, and things are progressing nicely. Everyone needs to make me a Constitution saving throw to see how much you can keep up with them. It's going to be a long run to the castle, and anyone lagging behind is going to be taking some things.
Oh no.
18.
18.
6.
6.
22.
22.
Oh, 16.
16. So, both the turtle and the half-elf are sort of lagging behind on things. I think probably realistically speaking, as Zoark is going like slowly through this corridor, honestly, you just can't get round him to run further in. It's like his shell is taking up the whole thing, so you're just like...
I just
kind
like
of-
him so much.
yeah.
I don't want to stay.
You're just like not running, not shoving past him rudely. You're just like waiting for him behind. Yeah.
Guys, I really think we should like grab a hold of like each other's shoulders or something, and then it keeps us more safe in here. Edward, I'll grab yours.
Edward, like 4 people in front of you, like keeps running through. Up behind, taking up the rear is Raph basically, and you can hear him start shouting as things are progressing. As you're going through this tunnel, that there is a fire. You hear him shouting at the other end. The pub's being burned down. This is a coordinated attack. Run faster. Up first will actually be Jen. So as things are progressing, you start hearing people fighting in the background. And we're not going to go to a map because this would be a very dull map. It's a long corridor. But like 30 feet from you, you start seeing armed soldiers walking 2 by 2 with spear tips pointing at yous. What do you do? You rolled highest.
Behind us, tunnel still.
Yeah, behind you in the tunnel, following. Basically, they're attacking Wrath, who's bringing up the rear.
And they don't look like the Royal Guard.
No, not at all. These people are wearing essentially almost all black with plate mail. So it's like, chainmail, sorry. So it's like black cotton clothing covered in chainmail with big pikes, and they don't look like they're anything to do with the Royal Guard.
Okay. Is there any of like looking at this horde of people?
Mhm.
Is there one sort of bringing up the front of the pack slightly, even by like a foot?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's like they're sort of going 2 by 2, but there is one guy stepping a little bit further that happens to be closer to you.
I'm gonna cast command and I'm gonna shout fall at him.
Fall. Okay, excellent. Do I need to make... That would be a wisdom saving throw for me, or is it charisma?
A wisdom save.
That is a 9. I think that fails your DC. What's your DC? 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
15. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. For that one.
Excellent. So yeah, he, like, as he's going by stuff, it's almost like he catches a glimpse of your armor, and his foot immediately just misplaces itself, and he falls, blocking the path going forward. Anything else you'd like to do? I think that's an action. You've still technically got a bonus action, and obviously I presume you're moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and... I've done that, and then I'm gonna try and move, but before I... Can I bardic inspiration the turtle to just be quicker?
You can bardic inspiration him, yeah.
I'm gonna get out my horn then and just kind of do it like a little, almost like the start of like a war cry, but just the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna look down at him and I'm gonna go, hurry, click on the base, come on, we gotta hustle.
This is so exciting. Excellent.
He tried to speed up, obviously.
Up next is the enemies. So the guy that fell spends basically, because I think commanders, they must spend their whole action doing something. So he falls on his turn, blocking the path, and the guy that is like trying to step over him. Actually, I'm gonna make a dexterity check just to see if he can. Yeah, no, that's a nat 1. So as soon as he falls, it's almost like his spear, like, you know that way where if you jam something too long in like a rectangle, his spear fully becomes like a gate on this hallway, and the guy just like slams into it and also falls. It's causing this like stupid it's causing this like stupid domino effect in this tiny little place. But from the back row, I'm gonna need... Does an 11 hit your armor class, Zoark?
Oh, come on, get attacked.
You see, from the darkness, a flaming arrow comes flying by Wrath and hits you.
Wait, was that 11?
11.
My AC
17, yeah, no, so it just like bounces off your shell essentially. Like, honestly, it probably even gets stuck in your shell, just like fully harmlessly, and disignites. But yeah, you guys see that you're also being shot by arrows as this escape is being made. Up next is Stan.
Okay. Can I see who shot the arrow?
So, like, 2 or 3 rows back, you can see that there are some archers just, like, basically the people in front of them are holding torches, and they're using those torches to light tar arrows to shoot.
Can I see the person away at the back?
Yeah. They're probably a good 40, 50 feet away, but the tunnel's pretty well lit.
Okay, so I would like to use Eldritch Blast on the person away at the back.
Excellent, yeah.
Oh, away at the back.
Make me an attack roll. 15 hits. Yeah, 15 hits their armor. Roll for damage.
Perfect. So that is 2 damage, but that's not why I did that. I'd like to use Grasp of Hadar to drag the person at the back through everyone else.
Oh, excellent. How far does Grasp of Hadar let you drag?
10 feet, I think.
10 feet. So this guy who was at the back of the pack gets dragged 10 feet through the other guards. Does it say anything about causing an impact if you...
It does not. I just did it so it would really annoy them.
Yeah, let me actually just roll dexterity checks for the 3 other guards. Because 2 of them are already down. That's a 6. And a 15. So of everyone, the one that you pulled towards you and 2 other guards are standing tall. and then you've got three all on the ground, like unable to stand up.
Okay, so can I just sort of walk over to the turtle and go, come on, Peepa, jump in my hands, I'll run. Just as an attempt.
Do you call him Peepaw?
Then just come on, Peepa, come on.
Come on, Peepaw.
Well, and he's just kind of like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening.
Lubnub, you're up next. So you can see that Raph is trying to hold off these people. Although with the spellcasters in your group, you can see that there's a lot of chaos going on just with like general tripping and movement seems to be a problem for these guys.
Can I tell roughly how many are actually there?
So you can see that there are 3 standing and 3 on the ground. The 3 standing are all people with archery. It looks as if they're all doing bows.
Any chance I can get into melee?
So they are...
Raph kind of blocking me.
They're 30 feet away, but Raph is, like... Obviously, Raph counts as an ally, so you can move through his space without any movement cost. But the problem is that there are 2 enemies up front that were tripped up by the bard spellcasting. So you would have to... Like, basically, you would have to make athletics checks to get past them. But you have the movement to do it.
If I can get up close enough, I can take my maul and smash it into one of the people on the ground. I would happily do that.
Oh, absolutely. You can do that with no athletics check. Raph lets you swing by him. So, yeah, make me an attack roll.
I imagine Lubnub's at the front of the pack, leaps over everyone else to get back into melee.
Yeah. So you're like rushing and pushing past everybody. Probably very rudely, but also quickly.
Yeah, so I will... Before I attack, I will bonus action rage and just scream, today's going to be a great fucking day. And I will bring down my maul on one of these motherfuckers on the ground.
Excellent.
That's an 18 plus 6 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah, that'll hit.
Then 2d6 plus 6. That's a 12 damage, please.
12 damage. This guy looks almost on death's door almost immediately. Like, he's tripped up and you've just smacked him so hard in the head that he is just a little bit dazed.
Enter.
Excellent. Up next will be Zoark.
Oh.
On you.
How far away am I from all these wee dudes? Other times.
So you're like 5 feet in front of Raph, who is creating like a barrier trying to hold all of them back. But you can see that you're about 30 feet from the archers. Actually, no, one of them got pulled 10 feet. So you're 20 feet from the archers and 30 feet from the other 2.
I am just going to keep running in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And as I go, I'm going to try and cause a little bit more of a disturbance within these guards. So I'm going to use thaumaturgy. And I want to create a sound above them as if like one of the support beams is about to snap.
Oh, excellent.
So I don't know what you want me to roll for that.
Give me, I'll say, either intimidation or performance for like how scary or how convincing you can be.
So Zuark is just going to like kind of run forward in the tunnel, and as he goes, you hear him shout, "I think the beams are collapsing," and I'm going to use deception. Was it?
Deception, yeah, that. Deception, intimidation, or performance.
Here we go. That is a 14.
14. Let me make a wisdom save. Damn, this dice hates me. That's a natural 2. Yeah, these guys immediately start panicking as the sort of rumbling in the walls. Even Raph looks a little concerned standing so close to it. He starts backing up quickly as you're all running through the tunnel. These guards are all just scrambling. I need you all to make me a con saving throw. Obviously, remember, Zoark, you've got your bardic inspiration. And if you all pass this, then you can turn a corner, run quickly, and get away from these guards.
16.
17.
16, 17.
23.
23. And then 18. Yeah, absolutely. You guys, like, outstrip these guards, basically just using your spell casting. Lubnub, do you allow everyone to retreat, or do you want to stay and try and solo kill these guys in a dark corridor?
Is Raph backing up?
Oh yeah, he's running. He definitely does not have the intellect to realise thaumaturgy was in play.
I mean, Lubnub will run, but he definitely throws a hand axe as he leaves.
Excellent. Roll me an attack roll. I'll say this hits the same guy that you already smacked if you want.
Sure. That is a 13 plus 6, 19.
19 hits, man. Yeah, roll for damage. I think you'll get him on the minimum damage. He's only got 4 hit points left.
Well, I did 8.
You did it, yeah, absolutely. Just as you're leaving the guy that you smacked on the head, just as he starts sitting up for the first time again, he immediately just like, in that almost comical way, he like puts his head up for the first time and then right in the forehead, complete hand axe, and drops dead again.
I will delete hand axe from my inventory.
Worth it.
Worth it, definitely worth it to make that escape. You guys run your way through the city and things are progressing fairly well, considering that this is just a dark corridor with people pursuing you. You guys are managing to stay a couple rounds, a couple turns ahead of them, and making sure that you're like out of sight of these archers. I need one last con saving throw from everyone, and we will just assume an auto pass on the bard's point of view.
Oh, another 8.
I got another 17.
8.
8. So, lagging a little behind Lubnub, but still the rest of the party being able to pull through, because this is sort of a group con check, the vast majority passed. You guys eventually get to the point where you are in what would almost be described as, in modern terms, it would be like a subway stop, and that it's a giant paved area where this tunnel passes through, like to just get off at. And then there is, you see a party of people here. You see a couple members of the Royal Military Guard, which you're all familiar with, that purple and gold uniform, and these like military stripe decorations and different epaulets on their shoulders and badges and different medals. And you can see that there is 2 people who, Lubnub, you don't recognise, and Zoak, one that you do recognise, is the prince that came to meet you. You can see that the middle child prince that once came to the city to hear of your charity, and took pity and made a donation, is basically in this underground bunker, seemingly working with the Hands of the Valley.
I remember his one.
You do, although your terrible dungeon master has forgotten where he wrote it down. Give me 2 seconds.
I feel like that's a name I would remember.
Yes. You would think it would be one I would remember as well. Edward Baywick, and the king's name was Tommen.
I'm gonna like shuffle him over and like a big massive grin, grab his arm, grab his hand and shake it like quite violently, but like,
yeah.
Oh,
He's like happily shaking your hand and directing you to one of his guards who got an arrow to the shoulder as he was making his escape, and just goes, what the fuck happened, Edward? We were supposed to be ahead of this. We were supposed to be investigating this. What happened? And Edward turns to him and just says, it is not my fault that information was given to me far too late to deal with. Unfortunately, this is a reality that we're going to have to move forward with. And then he turns to the youngest person in the room, a very scrawny looking human 15-year-old. He's got like long blonde hair, like covering one eye, like really proper scraggly looking kid, and just kneels in front of him, as does Edward. And you can see that the bright shining golden eyes of the new king, Harold Baywick, the new king of Greydrop. And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight, as you all bow in reverence to the new king, or some maybe choose not to bow.
Well, I mean, I've got
Definitely doesn't understand what's going on here.
Yeah,
Might want cheese puffs.
he might want cheese puffs. That is a true fact about the new king. He could want cheese puffs.
Some cheese puffs for him.
Excellent. Yeah.
Might want cheese.
His dad's just died. He might need a cheese puff. Did Jenna hear that climactic end?
No.
Excellent. So, well, very quickly, as we cut back to, just for a split second, we cut to like this picturesque half-elven woman in this genuinely so bright, shining bright armor. Nilthraia, you basically have tuned out the last minute, and you turn round. You turn round and you see that you're in a room, a paved room. Suddenly you're in like what would essentially be like a subway center or like a bomb shelter, and you can see that everyone apart from you is bowing in reference to a scrawny 15-year-old kid, with bright shining golden eyes.
Dip my head.
Yeah, and that's where we leave it for this evening. Excellent. So, yeah, with all that drama, with the cheese puffs, yeah. So I think we call the real episode there, but usually these kind of things have like a stick around show afterwards. If you guys want to sit and have a wee chat, I'd love to hear your thoughts and see what's going on.
Quite excited to see where this whole assassination plot has come from. I think Spencer's pretty excited over there as well,
Yeah.
to be honest.
It's good. Our main audience will be greyhounds, so I'm glad that it's appealing to the correct demographics. Can I just say, as a DM, Stan, why did you change your jobs? Like I was fully. Can I just fully come out here and say, Stan's background is that he's a squire, and he's supposed to be serving a knight, and that's why he's involved in this plot. So I don't know why when I asked him what his job was, he said chef.
Sorry. It's a part-time job.
I'm just curious where part-time squire, full-time chef.
Full-time squire, part-time chef.
Part-time chef.
I'm a chef.
Oh,
Right.
Squire.
I was fully expecting you to be like, I'm in a training yard, I've been told to meet these guys, like...
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You caught me at a bad time. I was just leaving my part-time job.
Leave my part-time job.
I was not hired on at all.
Yeah,
That you-
a job that wasn't.
Yeah, because specifically that's not your background. That's not what you're doing. Like I couldn't have you get
I
that.
wouldn't have that.
Yeah,
I'm not hired.
yeah. Just
Honestly, I was fully expecting like some sort of duck reference to the last campaign.
oh yeah. You should
Are all
have.
of your characters called Stan?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
We found the duck.
I finally found it.
He's a man with one. Stan the man with one brain cell, and it's B Stan.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I will always, forever, and always be Stan.
Yeah, I just had to confront you on that because I feel like I was thrown for a loop for basically no reason. We all had backstories that we had all discussed, and I'm glad that one of you decided, fuck that noise, I'm going to make up a new one on the spot.
Don't worry, if I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Fair
I
enough.
don't know why. I know why I said chef, but I thought about it and thought, wouldn't that be funny? And I'd already said it by the time I thought.
Just fully a thought that was not formed but said anyway.
No. Ed anyway.
I like it. How are we feeling about the assassination so far?
oh, this is the best day of living up tonight so far.
Yeah, you're suddenly in a city where the only thing protecting the future king is you and some guys in a hole.
This went from an incredibly shit day where you had to attend a meeting to I get to kill people now, and no one's gonna complain.
I feel like my character is probably slightly confused, as might be the turtle, because I feel like both of us were like, I thought we were going on a quest. I was expecting to be handed like a map or something and told to ride off into the forest to be a fantasy adventurer, and I'm now like, I'm in a bomb shelter. I'm not built for this.
110%. Is there actually just
Real
there like,
moment there. What do you want?
is there actually just sitting there like, yo, I came here to heal folk. I've watched somebody die.
Yeah, I've just watched someone's head get smashed in. What?
Like,
Well, I'm sure we
what
found the court.
is-
Good.
At least he's got some guards he can run around and heal.
I do think it's funny as well that everyone was like, yeah, we really need this chef to come on by, and then like 5 minutes into the combat, this chef comes up and is just like, I cast Eldritch Blast, and everyone's just like, fuck it, why not? Of course that's what he does.
I mean, yeah, that's what the chef does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like my character feels very justified. I'm like, yep.
chefs well known for making terrible deals that no one has any right to upkeep.
I will say, I was tempted to throw a kitchen knife, but then I'd have an incomplete culinary set.
Yeah,
Can't be.
God forbid. So you're so right.
God forbid we lose the chef knives.
Can't lose the pots and pans.
At least,
Your offer to stay in solo all the people in the tunnel was very tempting.
yeah, I did wonder, I was, yeah,
Loving up would be if Raph is running away as well.
yeah.
Otherwise he'd be like, nah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a great fucking day.
I just thought it would be in character for me to at least ask you if you wanted to stay and almost die.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Anything else you guys want to talk about or ask, or any questions or confused moments?
I mean, I'm pretty. Everything is stuff that needs to be asked in the next session. Obviously, with like how did this happen so fast? Who gave them the information? That sort of stuff. I think it's everything that I'm wondering about will need to be asked next time
Yeah, excellent.
because there's a lot of
That's what the
detail.
brains go in.
There's like 9 plus 10 does equal 21, but you're getting there the wrong way. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So there's a lot of questions that need to be asked.
Excellent. I'm glad I could activate that little D&D obsession of like, why is things not making sense yet?
Why is this happening? Let's get this. But I have took 3 pages worth of notes so far.
Excellent.
I took 2 lines and gave up.
Excellent.
You guys are taking
Oh,
notes.
right, well, thank God I'm the one.
Take a pretty old thing.
Everybody's just raw dogging it, and I'm taking the notes.
Excellent.
You want to get
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that.
Today is that people can have silent letters in their name.
Yeah.
I'm bringing that up with as many people as I physically can. That's the gimmick. The gimmick is there's a silent key in my name, and nobody knows one. Makes no sense.
The stand doesn't even know any of your names.
Yeah, I think you've only been
We
referred to
also
as the
don't know
doctor.
Stan's name.
Yeah.
You know, you've just called me the chef.
Yeah.
Canonically, I wasn't there when you were recruited. I was off our mess there.
We're gonna keep this shit.
I wasn't here when yous were recruited. I just fell into a bar. I got a job as a chef.
Well, I was expecting a squire, so I thought, you know what, you just fall into the pub.
You made this bed.
Yeah, you made this bed, so lie in it, please, now that it's uncomfortable.
I'm quite happy with that, actually. All I'm saying is, from the stand's point of view, oh yeah, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. From my point of view, I'm a squire that's a part-time chef. Now I'm a full-time chef squire.
Let's
Well,
let's
I
not
really
have
enjoyed
the
it.
same life output, but in a very different sense.
I just enjoy that my offer to Stan was, do you want to work for us? I don't know how long for, and I probably don't even know if you're going to get paid.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, you're supposed to be an actual squire. Your background is that you are employed by someone. Like,
Yeah.
from their perspective, you went to your part-time job and are now vanished in the middle of this city.
They're probably
Shit.
getting
Like an issue is going on in the city right now.
Yeah.
this is
I like
I
to
trained
think
in
that that one night was so committed that he's like, "Where is my squire?" And that's his only goal right now, is he's wandering around looking for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pure loyalty.
there was an assassination. I need my squire, is he okay?
Yeah.
Me started to like pick up a new squire, and he's like, "No, but he's my squire."
Yeah.
I've just had a brilliant idea that I'll need to talk to DM about.
Is it
One of the greatest ideas I've ever had.
is it another brilliant idea where you tell me the whole plan and then change it in the moment?
I don't think this will change. This is on level with the part-time chef.
It's on level with chef materials.
Make the plan, stick to the plan, throw the plan out the window, confuse the DM.
Yes.
Make the plan, stick to the plan, think you're gonna stick to the plan, all of a sudden you don't stick to the plan, make a new plan without telling anyone.
Yeah. Make the plan, use the plan, do all the information with the backstory towards the plan, and then don't use the plan at all.
And
Yeah.
then fuck
The
up.
one natural one does not elaborate.
Yes, basically. It would have been so brilliant if basically, I like to think of the alternate universe where, like, Zorak didn't actually roll really well on that cheese puff roll. Where basically you're like, I'm gonna make cheese puffs, and the head chef turns around and goes, "No, who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? I'll make cheese puffs."
That would have.
Aren't you that squire?
Yeah, basically, and then my
squad.
my plan was to have Edward come in and be like, "Hey, wait, hang on, isn't your knight supposed to be here?" Like, basically, like, you've shown up instead of the knight.
But no, I'm not.
But no, you're now just the chef. You're now just the cheese puff guy in the corner.
What game is that?
I like that.
How's it could have gone?
Yeah, pretty much as well as it could have gone. Excellent.
We've had at least 2 D&D cliches so far.
Yeah,
Not 3. We've started in a pub.
started in a pub.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep.
And we've already threw the plan away.
Yes. I think as well there should also be a fourth one, which is, yeah, you can try. Like, you can try and convince them you're a chef.
And then I
Oh.
do.
Natural 20 sheep.
Natural 20 cheese puff.
There was 3 rolls associated with cheese puffs, and they were all over 20.
So I think we're fairly set on what our first merch will be. It's just a plush cheese ball.
Yeah,
DNA.
That's true.
it's just.
Although we really do have to be careful with our Hellman sponsorship. Like, it is getting to the point where we're not sponsored by Hellman's is going to become a real problem for us. For reference, guys, we're on week 12 of doing the YouTube series, and every single week Vinny has claimed we're sponsored by Hellman's, and I have to say, no, we're not sponsored by Hellman's. But yeah,
So the other one's on YouTube, this one's on Twitch.
this is on Twitch and YouTube, so it's basically live simultaneously in both locations, and then it'll automatically be it'll be available in YouTube automatically as this, and then on Twitch it will stay there for like 7 days.
I mean, I said we're sponsored by this water.
That is true. So just to recap, we're sponsored by Hellman's and we're sponsored by Smart Water,
No, not smart water.
the Deadpool movie.
Active water.
Active Water. Sorry.
Mainly cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Any point?
We're actually just sponsored by Ryan Reynolds. That's
I get a new sponsorship.
what's your new sponsorship?
That's all be able to tell. We are sponsored by Zick.
Zek.
Zick.
Zek.
Sponsored by Zick.
So that we can all sit here and go, we're drinking Zek.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That water.
Classic Zek water. Yeah. Yeah. I do want to clarify we're not sponsored by anything. We're not sponsored by anything. I want to fully go out here. I'm the one. I'm moderating this channel, and I don't want sued by any of these brands.
Right. I think our lawyer will handle as well.
I don't think he could follow.
It does, yeah. Isn't that the guy from Futurama? The lawyer from Futurama, isn't that a space chicken or a space duck?
Yeah, actually.
Isn't it? I don't even remember
How long it's going to take Vinny to get a duck in game, but we know it's coming.
I don't know how long it's going to take Vinny to get a duck in real life before we start calling this a problem.
Listen, this is Phoenix Flight. He's our defense attorney if we ever get into any problems.
Phoenix Flight. Excellent. I think
Fair Lupnup has barely ever met a problem he can't punch.
and ducks included in that.
Depends what the problem the duck is.
Depends what kind of duck.
Alright.
Tender enough easily.
Excellent. Well, I think we're going to call it there for our live stream tonight. Yeah. Hope everybody had a good time. Hope we get some good interactions on the YouTube and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see. I guess we got Stan. You want to take it away with the usual like and subscribe?
Remember, guys, you gotta like, comment, subscribe because we're sponsored by Hellman's, and if we get to 500 followers, they will send us one 10,000 litre bottle of mayonnaise. So you gotta like and subscribe. You gotta remember that.
Excellent. And again, we're not sponsored by Hellman's. We have no deal with them.
We are sponsored by Zick.
We're not sponsored by Zek either. Catch you later, guys. Have a good